Hello everyone, welcome back to another lecture on reading in literature. We were discussing the chapter titled Nightmare. It is an extract from one of the autobiographies in the world. It's an autobiography written by Malcolm X. Who is Malcolm X? Malcolm X, he is an African. If we tell more about him, we have to say that though he is an African, he was born and brought up in America. So he is a black American. Here he is sharing his life experience being a black American. He had to face a lot of humiliations and sufferings in his life. So here he is giving an outlook on how the black American life was in America in earlier times. We heard about racism and all. So let's see how was his life. In the first lecture on this chapter titled Nightmare, we came to know about Malcolm X and his family. His father, he was a preacher and he was the follower of one of the prominent leader. What was the name of the leader? It's mentioned here. I hope you have gone through this uh, portions or which we discussed earlier. And one day, what happened to his family? They were thrown out of their home because their house was settled on fire. They became homeless. Let's continue from there. When their home burned down, his father somehow managed to get some clothes and a house to stay them for a while. And after that, he took them to the outskirts of East Lansing. In those days, the Negroes, they were Negroes, Malcolm X and his family, they are known as Negroes. So these people, especially the Negroes, were not allowed after dark in East Lansing proper. This is where the Michigan State University situated. So Michigan State University, one of the universities in America, it is situated in the place named East Lansing. Earlier in East Lansing, the black people were not allowed after sunset. He spent his childhood there for a while. And once when he became a man and he became a leader, he had a chance to visit this Michigan State University along with his younger brother Robert. During that occasion, Malcolm X he shared the past pitiful experience he had in Michigan uh, to the students of this university. How he and his family, or how he and his group, the black people, the Negroes, were harassed by the white people. He shared his experience. During his stay at Lansing, he used to go with his father, who is a preacher. And after some time, Malcolm X and his family they shifted to some other place and where his family built a home for them, a four-room house. The exact location is not mentioned here. Finally, his father, who is a preacher by profession, he built a four-bedded home, four bedroom, a house consists of four-bedroom was built. And here he is saying that from there he really began to remember things. So till then he was a child. And after that, and after they had a home of their own, his memories became sharp, and he's now saying that he clearly remembers what was really happened after that in their life. See, here it is written like this. After the fire, I remember that my father was called in and questioned about the permit for the pistol with which he had shot at the white man who set the fire. Don't you remember that incident? The white people who have settled the fire on his family. So during that time, his father, who took a pistol and fired against that white people. So after that, many white police men they do visit their house in search of that gun, but they couldn't never find it. My father's 22 rifle and his shotgun, though, were tied out in the open. Everyone had them for hunting birds and rabbits and other game. Yes, their father had a pistol, .22. But the policemen, the white policemen, they never seized that gun because during that time, everyone in that area, irrespective of Negroes or white people, they all possess such kind of rifle in their homes for hunting birds and rabbits or for engaging in other games. Anyway, these Negroes were under surveillance of the white people. And here in the next paragraph, he is sharing the how the relationship of his parents. Always there was a friction between his father and mother, means regular fights. They fight each other for some odd things. And sometimes even his father used to beat his mother. Don't you remember what we discussed earlier regarding Malcolm X's mother? Yes, she is a white woman. She has a white ancestry. And moreover, she is an educated person. But his father was uneducated. Malcolm X says he doesn't know how she got educated, probably because of her white ancestry. The reason is not revealed because it is unknown to Malcolm X. So, being an educated woman, she used to advise her husband. She used to correct her uneducated husband in many ways using smooth words, but he never liked it. And finally, it will turn up into an argument and a fight, and sometimes he do beat her. This is what is happening in his home. And his father, he was hostile to all the children. He had a number of children, and he was hostile to all the children except Malcolm X. If any one of the children broke any of his rules, because Malcolm X's father, who has set up a lot of rules, so many rules inside the home for his children. If anyone who broke any of his rules, they will be severely punished. But he never punished Malcolm X. He loved him. But what is the reason? Yes, Malcolm X, he was always pampered by his father, but he never escaped from his mother's whippings. What is whipping? അടി അമ്മയുടെ അടിയിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരിക്കലും മാൽക്കം എക്സിന് രക്ഷപ്പെടാൻ പറ്റിയില്ല. പക്ഷെ മാൽക്കം എക്സിന് അച്ഛന് സ്നേഹം കിട്ടിയിരുന്നു. അച്ഛന് മറ്റാരെയും ഇഷ്ടമല്ലെങ്കിലും മാൽക്കം എക്സിനെ ഇഷ്ടമായിരുന്നു. But what is that reason behind that love? Malcolm X believed that probably it was because of the anti-white attitude. The white men always brainwashed the Negroes. It is like that the white people are good and the black people are not good. See, Malcolm X, he is uh, a child who possesses light skin color. Usually, Negroes are black in color, but Malcolm X was not like that. He has a light skin color. That is, he is a mulatto. Mulatto means the first offspring of the black and white person. Malcolm X's father, he is a black man, but Malcolm's mother, she has a white ancestry. So we can say that he is a mulatto. Probably because of that, Malcolm's father loved him. So there was a general attitude among the Negroes that the white people are good. This is how the white people taught them. So here he is saying that because he was visibly nearer to white, as therefore better. Okay, this is one of the another instance he has shared from his life. When his father used to roam around the country along with his preaching, Malcolm too accompanied him. He remembered one of the favorite sermon of his father. That little black train is coming and you better get all your business right. Don't you remember Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa movement? Back to Africa means the Marcus Garvey and his people, they were persuading the black people who are residing in America to go back to their own land, to go back to their own nation, that is Africa. Here they are leading a life of slavery. So if you want to get freedom, if you want independence, you have to go back to your nation. This is what Marcus Garvey and his people were preaching. Malcolm's father is also one of the followers of Marcus Garvey. Philbert, the elder brother of Malcolm, he used to visit church because he is a believer. Malcolm was too confused and amazed. Is he really believe in God? Because Malcolm is not a religious person. He always closely observed how his father was preaching, how the people were jumping and shouting behind his father. Even from his childhood, Malcolm, he didn't believe in Christianity. He didn't believe in Jesus. Jesus is a man who has some divine power.
He had little respect for most people who represent a religion. Malcolm X, he said that I'm not a believer. We can say that he's an atheist. So he says that I don't respect any people who represents religion. It was in his role as a preacher that my father had most contact with Negroes of Lansing. The preacher's role my father possessed, actually, it is a way to connect with the Negroes of that country. As a follower of Marcus Garvey, it is impossible to approach Negroes. But as a religious man, he can approach the Negroes and he can influence them easily. And he also says that during that time, the Negroes they have a middle class status in this society. They are known as okay, they are middle class, and they were very happy to have acquaintance with other middle class people of the society. And here he is sharing one of the experiences in his life. Once he was standing in a lobby at the United Nations talking with an African ambassador and his wife. Then a Negro came up to me and said, "You know me? You know me?" So, okay, when Malcolm X became a leader, and one day he was talking with an African ambassador and his wife in United Nations. So, immediately a Negro came and asked, "Don't you know me?" And he was impressed. Oh my God, I couldn't recollect who it is. And then he finally, Malcolm asked him, "I'm sorry, I couldn't recognize you." Actually, Malcolm was meeting this person for the first day. But why that Negro asked that question? Because the Negro, he is a Negro and he is a middle class man. And to say hi to to another middle class man is considered as a good thing at that time. It is a status symbol at that time. Back when I was growing up, the successful Lansing Negroes were such a waiters and boot blacks. And now he is talking about the life led by the black people in Lansing. Many of them Many of them worked as janitors at some stores. Janitor means caretakers. So janitors were really respected. This is many Negroes were janitors. Uh, the real elite, the big show, the voices of the race were the waiters at the Lansing Country Club and the shoeshine boys at the state capitol. Actually, here Malcolm is mocking the Negroes. He says that time, many Negroes they were raising their voice for their race. They were considered as elite among the Negroes. Actually, by profession, these Negroes were shouting for the independence of Negroes. Actually, they were working in a country club as waiters or doing some other odd jobs. And the most of the Negroes they were leading a poor life and they don't have enough money at all. But at the same time, some Negroes had enough money because those Negroes they engaged themselves in some kind of racket, some kind of gambling houses. And during that time, no Negroes were hired by the Lansing big Oldsmobile plant or Rio plant. During that time, there are a lot of companies companies were established in Lansing. One of the prominent companies, Rioplan, it is a car manufacturing company. But no Negroes were employed there. They were marginalized. Only the white people were allowed to work in such companies. So, this was the pathetic situation of Negroes at that time. I hope this much is clear to you. Please go through the textbook, read till page number 83. So, with this, I'm winding up today's class. Thank you.